Nanjing, Nanjing. And um, I tried to do it. It's a beautiful area. And I tried to do the live stream from outside. And yesterday, or 2 days ago, when we were in Hangzhou, I was able to do a live stream from outside. But for some reason, my the cellular link to the internet is not working. So I don't know if it's that I'm out of data or I actually don't know. Because I use the Android phone in America, but my Android phone won't work in China. So a friend gave me her old iPhone. So I'm new. Oh, hi from Chicago. Okay, the reason I'm going to try to do these live streams as often as possible because it's so fun. The interaction that I have with the you guys that log in. So someone from Chicago logged in, and hello from uh, Hi Pin Techning from Portsmouth. I'm assuming Oregon. And Winston is from Portsmouth, and Catherine is in Chicago. But this is the fun, and Malaysia is here. And then someone, sadly, I don't read Mandarin or speak Mandarin, and also I don't know how to turn on subtitles. So I'm assuming most of you guys speak English if you're listening to this. I think they might repost some of these live streams and then add subtitles. Fresno, California. Hi, hi, Tommy. And so I'm assuming most of you guys speak English. I think I found out last night. Um, Good morning. I found out that you can turn on CC, and I was amazed that the AI that was putting the subtitles up was translating it very closely. Good morning, SL. So, but anyway, the interaction that when you guys were typing comments was so fun. And Catherine says, yes, we speak English. I thought so. Hong Kong. Hi, Hong Kong. New Jersey. I was born in New Jersey. Wow, this is so cool. But anyway, I tried to do the live stream from outside because it's beautiful. And everything's pretty much closed right now. The shop owners are starting to open up. And so I was going to try to do it from outside, even though it's a little bit chilly this morning. But I couldn't figure out how to connect. So everything is new to me. I'm new to China. I'm new to iPhone, and I'm new to live stream. So I'll probably make a lot of mistakes. But thank you guys for tuning in. So yeah, I'm in our hotel room right now. Lynette's she's texting, or not texting. She's messaging all of her friends, and so I'm glad that she can do that. So she's using my computer because she has at home in America, she uses hey, Canada. Um, she uses what's it called? A notebook? No. Yeah, a notebook, right? Lynette, what? Oh, she uses a Chromebook. Oh, San Francisco. She uses a Chromebook in the United States, but so it's not a PC or an Apple computer. So I think it's just basically for the internet. She can watch videos and stuff on that. So that's what she's doing. Um, but anyway, Tanzania, come on, you got to be kidding. I think that's a joke. Hello. But anyway, I actually have a little plan of some things that I wanted to talk to you about. But I also want to answer any questions that you have. Good morning, Vancouver. Um, so I have some things that I can share, and also I kind of want to rockstar. I also want to give you some behind the scenes from Jay and Ari's video because his videos are so professional. They do a great job. Oh, I'm in Nanjing, Nanjing. And since you guys, most of you speak English, the way that I'll tell you this, I've even though I've traveled to about 40 countries in the world, I only knew the names of two Chinese cities, and that was Beijing, of course, and then also Shanghai. So, so I've already been to two cities where I had never heard of them before, but they're huge. I think Hangzhou is considered a first tier city or second tier. I don't remember because we don't have tier cities. Yeah, I'm loving our trip in China. Good morning, Judy. Um, so Hangzhou is, I've learned that city now, and then I'm in Nanjing, and I don't know if I'm saying it right. Hey, Malaysia, and over 100 people now. Wow, that's so cool. No, and the way that I'll remember it is because all these names are new to me. But the way that I'm going to remember Nanjing is that I was told it used to be the capital of China before. Um, what's my most fun part? Just every day. I mean, it's a whirlwind. So right now, I don't even have a favorite part because every day is my favorite part. The way that I remember Nanjing is that Beijing is the capital now, and like non-dairy, is no dairy. So I remember this is no capital anymore. So Nanjing, Beijing, Nanjing. Yeah, it used to be the capital. So we had breakfast this morning, and Jay was up, and he was up pretty early. So right now, actually, Jay is editing a new video, and I think Xiaodofu is taking a nap, and then so a little bit later, Lynette and Ari are going to go shopping because this is a really cool area. One of the things that I love is how many trees are in all the cities that that we've traveled through, and then every morning I could hear the birds. So I did make a video. So I'm making some like 8 to 10 minute videos. And that will take me a couple days to put up because I'm working with a new company in China. Jay set me up with that they will add subtitles, and that will be kind of a longer edited video. So this is just live stream. It's unedited and no subtitles. Uh, oh, Nanjing, yeah, that's the Chinese characters, Nanjing. So anyway, you asked earlier if we've been to James' hometown. No, so we've not. I think we're about. He's from Ningguo, Ninggou, Ningguo City, and apparently that's like a small city, but I think it's like 400,000. So to me, in America, that's a huge city. The town I grew up in North Dakota was 1,000 people, and so the capital of North Dakota is called Bismarck, and I think that's maybe 30 to 50,000. So, and that's the big city when I grew up. So to have the city, and he calls it a small town of 400,000 or 500,000 is ridiculous. And yeah, Jay says it takes about 2 weeks to get over jet lag, but last night I slept the most. So right now I feel pretty good, but I normally need to take a nap maybe in the middle of the afternoon. And I'm waking up, so I'm going to bed at around 9 or 10 at night, and then I wake up at around 2 or 3, and then I stay up for about 2.5 hours. Then about 5:30 this morning I went back to sleep, and then I woke up at 7:30 and had breakfast. And Jay's mom is here with us now, so in the video when I edit it and post it, I might even do that today. I don't know if we're gonna go to Hong Kong. Uh, Jay's choosing where we go, but I know that they have to, or I have to leave for a few days to reset my visa. And I think isn't Ari's visa, is her visa 3 months or just 2 months like ours?
No idea. I think it's 3 months. I have no idea.
So I'm actually on a tourist visa, and it's at 2 months. Los Angeles, hey, I hope your weather is nice. I think it's evening, in Los Angeles, but I don't know what time it is all around the world. So we will be going to his town, I think in a few days. Since this is behind the scenes, I'll tell you this. If you guys remember Megan from their videos in the United States, I think she was there a couple times. And also, or Megan, and Ross is trying to come back because they're going to have a Chinese wedding, I think the 21st or something. And they're going to actually live stream. There's a company that's going to come in and just kind of live stream the whole day and the wedding. So that should be really cool. So a lot of the friends that I've met here already in China will be coming to the wedding, and also Megan is going to be coming. So we're going to go back to Shanghai to pick up Megan from the airport. And if Ross can get a visa, he's going to come as well. And so we'll pick him up. And you saw him in some videos in the United States, but also he lived in China for, I think, about 10 years. But he had his visa expired, so he went back to the United States, but he's trying to come back for their wedding. And oh, thank you so much. Someone said, I love your family. I don't know if you guys can read the comments or not, because like I said, this is new to me. Malaysia, hi. I've been to Malaysia and it was really cool. Men need jeans. I don't know if I need that or not. Sometimes I think I do because I cry a lot. I'm just so happy, and it's really emotional because we lived in Europe for about a year. Was it yeah, about 1 year, and so I know how it's challenging. You love when you're visiting somewhere. Oh, you can read the comments. Oh, that's cool. So then you know what I'm commenting on. Thank you that's why I love this live streaming thing. Singapore, I love Singapore. In fact, the streets in China so far in the cities reminds me of the streets in Singapore, because in Singapore there's trees everywhere. There's trees. It's what are those called? Palm trees, but there's a lot of greenery in the actual city of Singapore. Well, I think it's a city and it's just that little small island. So I don't know if it's just a city or the countries. I think the whole country is the city. But anyway, that so far the cities, the greenery in China reminds me the most of Singapore. But I'm looking at the skyline right now. I guess I can maybe. No, I don't want to move this one. If you guys saw how I was filming this, because I wasn't prepared to do. Um, so that, I'm glad you could catch a live stream. If you guys would laugh. In fact, I should actually film how I'm doing this. But I'm on my bed in the hotel room. The wedding is it the 22nd or 21st?
21st.
It's on the 21st. Oh, China has modeled after Singapore the last 50 years. Okay, that makes total sense. Because up till now, Singapore was the most beautiful greenery and city I've seen. Chicken bum is better. I'm not going to read out questions that talk about chicken bums, but I did. So don't hold me to my own plans. So anyway, wish I could show you the skyline, but when I'm done, I'm doing an edited video today as well. So I'll film my little setup here. But basically, took a stool and I put it on the bed, and then let's rock, and baby, let's rock. And then I took a belt. Jay's mom saw my belt because I took my belt off. No one ever sees my belt because I wear my shirts over my pants. But I took my belt off to put Xiaodofu into a baby chair to kind of strap him in. And then so Jay's mom saw my belt. So she bought me a belt. So I have a stool on my bed, and then I had to use the belt to raise it up another inch so that you wouldn't see the stool in the video. Anyway, you look very happy. Yes, I am very happy. I love to travel, and I haven't traveled since 9/11. So 11, 20. So I haven't really traveled for 14 years. I was in Kenya maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Do you guys? I don't know. Well, anyway, my son was on the flight with the underwear bomber, the Detroit underwear bomber, when we came back from Kenya. So That was an ordeal. So I haven't. That's the only time I've traveled in the last 13 years. But I used to travel all the time because I was the sales and marketing director for Sony BMG for their international, one of their international divisions. So my job. So this was after I was an artist. So when I was from my, well, I mean, I started singing when I was about 14, but from when I was 18 till about 31, I was a musician. So I was an artist with Warner Brothers, and I did a lot, and I traveled a lot. I think I did about 32 tours in those years, and mostly overseas. I would just play cities. They weren't really tours. I would play different cities in the United States, but the only tours I did were overseas. And then so after, and that's really a young person's job, although now people my age are being rock stars again. But so after being a musician, then I became I worked for the record company. I didn't work for Warner Brothers. I was an artist with Warner Brothers, but I was they call it a suit. I was a businessman for Sony BMG Records, a division. And so my job, listen to this. Hi, Indonesia. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, there will be a video team at their wedding when they do, and they're not selling anything on that. I think that's just a live stream to, to just for people to. I'm so proud of him. I mean, obviously he that's how he's providing for his family right now, for my daughter Ari and for Xiaodofu, is by doing live streams and YouTube videos. So he's the hardest worker I know. But to be honest, it reminds me of when I was his age, where I was, my wife never, their wedding is the 21st of this month. Lynette didn't work once she worked for 10 years. We got married when we were 20, and we had our first child when we were 30. So for those 10 years, she worked, and she worked with old people, and then in home health care and also in a nursing home. And then when she had our oldest son, and you've maybe seen him in few of the videos in America, but he would love to travel. In fact, my wife and he, when they get together, they watch a Chinese vlogger called Little Chinese Everywhere, and it's our favorite travel vlog. But they watch it all the time, and she's actually from not too far from here. But I think right now I watched her live stream last night, and I think she's in Malaysia right now. So
No, she's not.
yeah, she is.
She's in China,
No,
near Vietnam.
no, but I watched a live stream, her first live
Oh,
stream last night, and she said, I don't know if I should tell you a spoiler, because it takes a few days to edit the video. So when you see the video, it was usually shot a few days before. She said, I don't know if I should tell you, but she was having so much fun on her live stream. She said, okay, I'll tell you, I am in Malaysia. So you'll be seeing that video soon. But then she said, I'm coming back to China in a few days. So I don't know if she read it, but I sent her a little, I guess, email saying, hey, we're your biggest fans. We love it. You're welcome. Because she only lives about 40 miles from Jay's hometown, is her hometown. So he said, if you're in China, we would love to have you at the wedding. So I don't, she's so busy and she's so popular now. When we started watching her, she had like 6,000 or 8,000 subscribers. And then now it's just a few months later, she has over 300,000 subscribers, but she is great. Um, so I don't know if she'll come or if we get to meet her, but but I will say this: we've met so many people here, and they're so excited. And I can relate because I met a rock star, Eddie Van Halen, at an airport once. And because this is during the Jump era, it was probably maybe 19, I don't know, I don't know, 90 or something around there. Or no, 87. It was, but he was very famous. So on MTV, would play music videos, so I would see him all the time. So I forgot that I didn't know him personally. So when I saw him, I said, Eddie. And so I went over, they were sitting at the airport kind of on their own. So when I went over and I talked to him and his brother Alex were sitting together, and it's Sammy Hagar and the bass player Anthony, they were sitting together, and then Alex and Eddie were sitting there. So I went and talked to, because I'm a guitar player, so I went and talked to Eddie. And I realized after about 10 minutes, and we've talked maybe 20 minutes, after 10 minutes of talking to them, because they acted like they knew me, but I know they did not know me because I hadn't had any videos out yet. I think this might have even been before I got signed to Warner Brothers. I don't remember exactly. But I remember talking to them in about 10 minutes, and I realized, oh, they don't know, they don't know me. But because I had seen them so many times on video, I thought that I knew them. And so I think they probably thought, okay, here's a guy we met at some party or something, or at some record label event. So they thought that they had met me before, but they hadn't, just because I was talking to them like I knew them. But that's so cool, because that's when people meet us. That's how they feel. They feel like they really know me because they've seen, Jay and Ari's videos, and they're so excited, and just that they're so happy, and I love that for them. And so and it's fun, and sometimes they ask me for a hug, and and I love to hug them, and they just, and they, they don't try to, control our time, because we're usually going from one place to another, but just for a minute or so, we can shake their hands and give them a hug and say hi and take a picture with them, and it's a lot of fun. Just to spread joy like that. Because when Lynette first saw Eddie Van Halen, she was so excited. She came up to me, and she didn't know that I had talked to him for about 20 minutes, because she was getting some food at the airport. So she came up to me and she said, I saw Eddie Van Halen eating a hot dog, and he had ketchup on his mouth and on his finger. But she was so excited. So I think that's how people that have seen our videos, that's how they feel when they meet us. So I want to respect that, and give them as much love and joy as possible. Okay, I haven't read some of your comments for a while, and oh my, I've been talking for 23 minutes. I hope that's not too long. Yes. I was going to tell you our plans. Oh yeah, behind the scene. So Jay's cousin, so it's his dad's oldest brother's son. So Jay's dad was one of four boys, and he was the second boy. And so the oldest brother, the oldest son of Jay's grandma, who we saw again yesterday, actually, since this is a behind the scenes thing, we went to, it's that Memorial Day of when you remember your ancestors. So we went to the graveyard of Jay's father with his grandma and his mom. And I just have to say this: it was on a hillside. The graveyard was beautiful. It was amazing. There was, I guess everyone there was cremated, so it's just little, maybe 2 foot by like half meter by half meter kind of stone on the ground, and then inside that stone would be the ashes of the departed. And then there's like a bush or a little tree or something, and they're only maybe 1 meter apart. I mean, like one grave starts 1 meter, so in that meter there's a half a meter of the actual little tombstone, and then like a tree. So if you didn't know it was a graveyard, if you saw it from the air, it would just look like a beautiful greenery mountain. And so we'd walked up all these stairs, and there's these little rows. It was just beautiful. I mean, there was actually a video when we went and visited the graves of Lynette's mother and father in the small town, and you can see there's no trees there. I mean, maybe one or two trees here and there, but this very big, you know, area with mostly just grass. But at this, so it's, and it was very flat, so it's very different because they bury the bodies there, so it has to be kind of flat. But this was on a hillside. It was just beautiful and it was very touching. And Ari got kind of emotional.
Jay's dad died in his 40s.
I think he was about 46. So I wish I had a chance to meet him.
Daniel just asked me.
Yeah, but Jay's mom was there, so that was her son that had passed away, and she it was really interesting. She really cleaned, you know, she wiped down the grave or the area, and then we all put flowers there, and it was really touching. And then so after we came back to the car, and then now Jay's mom is traveling with us, but Jay's grandma went back to her town. I think she lives in whatever town. I don't know what town it was. It was about 2 hours from Nanjing, from where we're at now, and it was about 3 hours from Hangzhou. So, but I don't know the name. I don't really know the names of anywhere right now. But when the grandma left, she came to me, and Lynette told me later what the grandma said to her. But the grandma said, because she helped raise, and Jay spent a lot of time with his grandma, and they were very close. And she, you know, spent a lot of time raising him. I think that's very common in China. And she said to Lynette, she said, now he's yours to take care of. And then, so when I said goodbye to her, you know, I hugged her, and she looked at me, and she said something in Chinese, and we just looked into each other's eyes, and I said, "Shish, yeah." And then I figured out later that she had probably said, "Now he is yours to take care of." Hi, San Francisco. And so, even though I didn't know what she had said, I think I said the right thing, because I said "Sheshia," which means thank you. But we just stared into each other's eyes, and I was feeling like we both knew that we both loved Jay. So let's not talk about that anymore. You'll see that on the video. Morning from Hong Kong. Okay, I'm done with being emotional. So I do need some of those, ginseng or something to get more manly. But real men cry. And I only saw my dad cry ever once. And I didn't even I've never seen him cry. But my mom told me she only saw my dad cry one time, and they've been married for, how old were they when they were actually 30 when they got married. Lynette and I were 20 when we got married. But my dad and mom got married when they were 30, and they had kids right away. They had 3 kids in diapers. They had 3 kids under 3. But she said she'd only ever seen my dad cry once, and that was when Lynette and I were in a car and we got stuck. And so we were out in the country and we got stuck, so we couldn't come back. It was a big story. The police were involved. There was a big manhunt. There was 3 robberies in our small town. So my dad, and then the car we were in, he said had a leak in the muffler. So he thought maybe we had parked somewhere and left the car running, and that we had died from the exhaust fumes. So he thought that maybe I was dead. Why am I talking about this? This is ridiculous. so, so she said that was the only time she ever saw him cry, was when he thought that I was dead. And we were 17. Lynette and I were 17 at the time. But yeah, thank you for saying don't be ashamed. Humans need to go through pain. I don't know if we need to, but I tell you this, I've gone through, pain in my life. And that's one of the reasons that I'm so thankful and so happy, is that I'm so thankful because I know what the hard times are like. And I think if I didn't know what the hard times were like, I might not appreciate the joy and the good times as much. So maybe you're right that it's okay when we go through hard times, because that's a part of life. I think everyone has gone through hard times. And if you say you've never gone through hard times, I don't know if that is even true. But I know most people that I know have gone through some hard periods. At least, maybe, hopefully they weren't too long, but there's been hard periods in everyone's life. And I think I know it helps me be kinder to people and gentler to people and to love people more, because they are, because I know what it's like to have normal times, to have bad times and hard times, and to have great times. And right now we're having a great time in this town. And guys, I don't know, can anyone tell me, what? Is there 479 people here? Is that what that means? Like, this is new to me. Okay, it says I've been talking for 32 minutes. I'm sorry. 479 people. Wow, that is so cool. Yeah, enjoy the good times and learn from the bad times. Yeah. And then also, I think it's important to be thankful for the good times. It means you're getting hot. Where am I now? I'm in Nanjing. Nanjing. I don't know how to say it in Chinese. Someone actually, okay, well, another thing that I'm kind of surprised by, I was expecting no one to speak English in China. But here's what I noticed, because Jay told me, and I've seen on videos, that actually you learn in China, they learn English in books. They might not have someone that speaks English to them, but they learn English in books. So I think they don't have a chance to practice it as much. But a lot of people that are under 30, or people look young to me here in China, to be honest, because I think the skin is really, well, the skin's beautiful, but it has less wrinkles. But I'm going to say around 30, 35 people, younger people, a lot of them are speaking English to me. And so, even children. So, and I think it's because they're less afraid. Now, I did notice too, when I'm with people that are like 50 or 40, and I like when we did the live feed, we were with a lot of business people when we did that live stream where we were selling tea in the tea mountain. A lot of and so we spent like the whole day, some of the people we spent 2 days with, and a lot of them didn't speak English. They would use a translator app, which I was very thankful for, so we could kind of communicate. But I noticed this, after spending 2 days together, on the second day, towards the end of the day, they started speaking they started speaking English to me. And I think the reason was because I remember when we were in Holland touring in the Netherlands. It was, and I kind of heard the words, so I started learning the language a little bit, but I was still afraid to speak it. And I'm that way with Chinese. I kind of know how the word is spelled, but I don't really know how to pronounce it. But I try, because I figure no one's going to be mad at me if I say it wrong. But I realized I had to have a comfort level. Like I didn't want to be totally look like an idiot to mispronounce something in Dutch. And I think that after these older, when I say older, 40s and 50s, I think when they became really comfortable with me, because we had spent a lot of time together, I noticed then they felt more comfortable speaking English. And to be honest, their English was pretty good. I mean, I understood what they were saying. And I said, no, you speak English great, but it's like, why haven't you spoken to me for 2 days since you obviously know English? But I think they had to have that comfort level. These Chinese young people, yeah. So I think they had that. So I think that has a lot to do with it, because I noticed at night when I get tired, I speak. Jay said I speak better Chinese when I'm tired, and I think it's because my fear of sounding stupid is lower because I'm tired and I don't care, and then I just say "Rah," whatever.
Are you tired right now?
I'm not tired now, so that's why I'm afraid. That's why I'm afraid to mispronounce Chinese words, but but I think that has something to do with it. Okay, you agree. You have to be confident to speak. Yeah. Or you know what? Sometimes if you're with me, just say it. And if I don't understand your English, I'll just say, I don't understand. But a lot of times, good morning. A lot of, yes. 600, almost 600 watchers now. That's crazy. It is just so fun to read your comments. Yeah, they learned English since childhood, but you probably don't get as much time to practice it. Right now, I'm in Nanjing, Nanjing, China. Taiwan. Let's see. Have I been to Taiwan? I can't remember. Malaysia, Singapore, Japan, Hong Kong. I don't think I've been to Taiwan. In Thailand, no, I haven't been to Thailand. That's where Jay Chow is from. No, I have not been there. What was I gonna say? Oh, but Jay taught for a year. He taught in Thailand, and so that was so. I kind of want to do like a Jay history. So we're gonna see his hometown. And Hangzhou is where Jay went to college, and that's where we met his professor. You haven't seen it yet, but this is a spoiler alert, but I give you the inside story. We went to his professor's house. His professor is an amazing man, and and he and then Jay's father died when he was in college. So I think, and is it Professor Leo or Dr. Leo? Dr. Leo, I think, kind of took Jay under his wing because Jay spent a lot of nights where he slept at Dr. Leo's, is it Leo? Dr. Leo or Dr. Leo? Dr. Leo's house. And so he was kind of a surrogate father to Jay, and he really embraced Jay. And then Jay said that he does that with a lot of his students. So Jay said he's not the only one that his professor took under his wing. But seeing their relationship together, I think they have a very special relationship. And too with yeah, if you stay at someone's house and sleep overnight for long periods of time, that's a special relationship. But anyway, I got to know him a lot better, and he played some music for us. That man is amazing. I thought he was just a professor. No, he was an entrepreneur, and he was a businessman. And then he decided to help teach others. So, and he was even a high school teacher in America for a year. And I'm thinking, how is that even possible? Because he is such a high level, and I'll be honest, he's a wealthy man, And to spend 9 months out of your year to teach American high school students, and American high school students, high school is not a place where you learn things. You learn things in elementary school and you learn things in junior high. You don't really learn that much in high school. But he said he gave it his best. And we actually had some things in common. We were talking about education, and we homeschooled all of our children. And I said, for me, learning is a lifetime thing. So it was more important for me and Lynette to teach our children how to learn and to teach them critical thinking instead of just teaching them facts and dates and those things. Those things are, can help and can be important, but it's more important for us to teach them the joy of learning. So I still love learning everywhere I go. And I was talking because he was asking about homeschooling. I said, well, it's to teach the kids. Oh, there's my sparkly nails are beginning to one of them came off completely. They're starting to fade away, and I won't do it again, obviously, but I wanted the hand rub. That it was free, so I said, okay, I'll go ahead and do my nails and so I could have the hand rub. It was very good. And it was at a hot pot restaurant, and they give free, manicures and is it manicure? Yeah, and a hand massage. But anyway, I was talking with Dr. Leo, and I was explaining our philosophy of education, because really, then they would have books. So after they were maybe 12 or 13, most of their education then was from just the materials. They would learn those things themselves. And so if they learned something very fast, then they didn't have to spend much time with it, and you would only stay with it until you could be at the highest level, which is in America A, B, C, D, E, F, or no, there's no E, A, B, C, D, and F are the grades in America. So all homeschool students are all A students, and I already graduated from college as summa cum laude in the top three, and there was maybe 10 or 20,000 people in her college, and she was in the top 1%. There was only 3 students in her graduating class that were at the highest level of summa cum laude. Even though she never had a professional teacher, she had me and Lynette as parents. And both of my parents were English teachers when they finished college. So they had a very good grasp of the English language. I failed English in high school because I didn't care about learning, and I picked things. And then it was so funny because Dr. Leo, he said when he was in school, he never did homework and he rarely went to class. But Jay would say he was very strict with Jay and say, you must study. You shouldn't even be the student council president. You just need to study. And I said, Dr. Leo, you were telling Jay to do what you did not do. And he goes, I know. Oh, he was so fun. But that's the saying in America, do what I say, not what I do. But, I love that guy. And he had this beautiful instrument. I said, how much is this instrument? And it was one of those. I said, and it was the most beautiful instrument I've ever seen in my life. I said, how much is this instrument? He said, $50,000. I said, you mean 50,000 won? And Jay said, no, it's $50,000. It was 350,000 won. It was made by a master who actually made the instrument that was played at the opening. It was the opening shot of the Beijing Olympics opening ceremony. And the master that made that and maybe even played, I can't remember, but that's the guy that made Dr. Leo's instrument. But it was beautiful. So anyway, I played it a little bit, and he was pretty excited. He said, oh, wow. but it's a stringed instrument, so I know how to play guitar. So, but I said next time I come back, I want to spend at least an hour playing this because I want to write a song on it. Because it was, I write songs when I'm inspired, and usually it's when I'm playing an instrument. I'll find I'll find something that inspires me. So I'll almost always, yeah, always start with the music first, and so usually I'm playing, and then well, it's like when I sang that song with those Chinese guys from, is it called Joyside? Is their Chinese band? And I didn't know that they sounded like professional musicians, but I didn't know for sure that they were professional musicians when I sang with them. But they were playing so beautifully that it inspired me. And so we were on a mountainside on a little tiny road overlooking the tea fields. And so there, I speak musician language even though I don't speak Chinese, and they actually did speak English, which is actually interesting. A lot of times, if I meet musicians from other countries, a lot of times they will speak English because if you're kind of embracing that music culture, you know bands, probably you know some from America or England. So, and I don't know if musicians maybe have a natural, like Ari has a natural skill for languages. I am told that her pronunciation in Chinese is pretty good. But anyway, they could speak English. Actually, those guys spoke English better than any Chinese person I think I've met so far. More fluent and more natural sounding. So I don't know how big their vocabulary was, but the way that they spoke sounded the closest to American English of anyone that I've heard. But anyway, when I heard them playing when we were walking down, and so I just kept listening, and so I was inspired. And then so I wrote a melody, and they only played one part, but I actually wrote a verse and a chorus, and I almost sang it the way that I write songs, where the lyrics, there's a couple ideas, but the lyrics aren't perfectly formed yet. So once I finish writing a melody, so it starts with music, and then I write a melody, and then I write a chorus and a verse and maybe a bridge. And then after that, then I will take the theme, because I'm always thinking about a theme of the song, but then I'll spend time when it takes a little bit of work to fix the words to make sense to fit what the theme of the song was. So that's what I did with those guys, and I can't wait to listen to it. I've been so busy, I haven't had really. I've only when I was able to watch the video one time when I go through all of your. And usually for the first day or two on the videos of both Jane Ari's videos and the ones that I put up, I'll spend a day or two, a first day or two, and I'll go through all the comments. And that's how I learned a lot about Chinese people. Do I have time? Yeah, I'll cut it off at an hour. But another thing that I learned was that humor doesn't always translate from culture to culture. So, for example, humor in America is very different than humor in Europe. And I don't know how similar all the European countries are. So I'll just talk about, I guess, the Netherlands, because I know the Netherlands the most. But I think, yeah, and France has its own. They love Jerry Lewis, and Germans love David Hasselhoff. And the Dutch kind of have a goofy humor. So humor doesn't translate the same way in all languages. But I know this is what I think. Humor in China is very similar to humor in America. And so I really like that because I love to make jokes. And I've actually seen some of your comments that said, we think you're funny, or we think Lao Zhangren and his wife are funny. And Lynette actually has a great sense of humor. And she liked my humor. That's that's the reason I married. One of the reasons I married her. Plus, she is beautiful. and super sweet and nice. But she has a great sense of humor, and she'll sometimes tell me a joke, and then I'll say it out loud so everyone will laugh, and I'll get all the credit, even though it was her joke, but she didn't have the same confidence that I do to just say things and throw them out there and experiment. Um, but uh, so like I was thinking about it yesterday. I did this video where with a straight face I say, and this is where the Chinese pod people live, because there was these little, just pods where, to kind of oversee to look at the tea farm and everything. I said, these are where the pod people live, but I say it with a straight face. So I thought, are people going to think that's weird, or are they going to understand? Oh, he's in his mind, he thinks he's funny. So, oh, from Tokyo. Wow. What's your next plan? Okay, this is a good place to wrap things up. So, Jay's deciding, and I realized, other than they have their wedding schedule on the 21st, so we'll go there, obviously for several days to his hometown, and I know he is planning on taking us to the little home that he grew up in and stuff. I'll sing before I go. Someone said, I want to see you sing on stage. I'll sing before I go. Humor. Oh, good. Because I talked about on the video that I did from the tea hotel, I said, and this is where, and all of the phone booths in China are pink. Well, I didn't know if people knew that they aren't all pink. But anyway, Houston. Wow. Hi, Texas. Hello. Yeah, that tea hotel was beautiful. I think it was pretty expensive, but I don't really know because I don't have to pay for anything. Jay is taking care of us so good. If you guys ever travel, I tried to set up Alipay, but my credit card apparently isn't working now. I just got a few messages on my phone that says, use this secret code, don't tell anyone, and then you can use your credit card. So I need to figure that out because I have about cash. I have about 250 RMB cash, but that doesn't. But really, I just need to buy something if I'm alone. So usually a cup of coffee or something, or something to drink is usually all I really need the cash for. Except I took Xiaodofu on a little train in a mall, and my Alipay didn't work, so I had to use. Fortunately, I had some cash with me. But I just need to I have WeChat. I haven't tried that yet. I have WeChat Pay and I have Alipay. I just need them to work. I'm sure I'll get it figured out, but we've just been running like crazy. So I will sing a song for you now. Thank you guys so much. Any last questions? Luke and Coffee. Any last thing before I sign off here? Thank you guys so much. Wow, over 600 people. Guys, that means so much. I'm going to do this. I didn't have time yesterday, but this was the first time. If I ever have a free hour, I'm going to do a live stream with you if I can, because it is so fun to read your guys' comments. I feel like you're with me here, that we're hanging out. Alipay sucks. Have you been to China? I'm in China now. Enjoy your trip. Good morning. Thank you. Okay, so yes, I am planning. See, they asked, are you planning to come to China again? I am. Let's put it this way. I don't have any plans now because this is my first week here, but I know I will be back in China again, and I am hoping Lynette Scott is going to be traveling a little bit in the United States after this trip, and I won't be on that trip, so I'm hoping to stay for a little bit longer, and kind of maybe shoot some videos, or maybe do a little exploring on my own, or I'll go with Jade Ari if they want me. So I don't know what the exact plans are, but I can almost guarantee you, Lord willing, I will be in China again, because it is there's so much to explore. Obviously, you'll never be able to see all of it, but every little area it has been special to me. Australia, yeah, I'm loving it. So now, okay, perfect timing because I'll keep it under an hour, but a time for a song, and it's a song about everything. There are a lot of the things that I've talked about traveling and about leaving people and missing people. And travel lightly, and don't forget your way back home, 'cause it was only you this time. And please remember what I've said and what I've done. It was only you this time. And when you go, you take all the flowers with you. I remember when they were mine. Yes, and when you go, you take all the flowers with you. I remember when they were mine. And don't be silent, and ask the questions that you need. It was only you this time. And I'll be praying, and I'll be wishing you were here. It was only you this time. Oh, and when you go, you take all the flowers with you. I remember when they were mine. Yes, and when you go, you take all the flowers with you. I remember when they were mine. And when you go, you could see the world and wonder if you could see this world. I wonder what you'd say. 'Cause when you go, you take all the flowers with you. I remember when they were mine. Yes, and when you go, you take all the flowers with you. I remember when they were they were mine. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining in. This has been so fun. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.